Hello and welcome back to How About That Crypto. I am your host, Bitcoin Stylist on Twitter and Bitcoin Hairstylist on Instagram. Today, I got with me my awesome guest, Theo. We're going to do a haircut. And while we're doing the haircut, we're going to be learning all about his project to make buying NFTs super easy, whether it's with a credit card or through email, mass adoption on its way. You don't want to miss this. First, we're going to get him shampooed and we'll be right back. All right. So tell me about this project that you got going on.
So, I mean, you seem to have given like a high level overview earlier. Basically, it's just the underlying idea is that anyone should be able to buy crypto assets without having to deal with all the complexities of like wallets and like, keeping their private keys safe and all that. So essentially, you would go on to say like whatever website it is, pay through like a Stripe portal. So it's secure and everything. And then somehow right now I'm trying out options involving like emails, like where they would get a link where they can mint their NFTs. It's only valid once or whatever, but I'm still figuring like some parts of it out. But basically you pay with a credit card, you get an NFT, just keep your private key safe. And you can also mint to you can either press like a singular button just to like create a wallet and everything for you and like mint it to there, or put in like existing details or whatever to receive it.
So one thing real quick. So I want to understand, and then like for the audience as well, when you said you get a link, so you get a link to your email.
Yeah.
And you get a chance to mint.
Yeah.
Can you explain what that means? Because I think my understanding of NFTs and that stuff is definitely less than it is on the crypto stuff, and I think a lot of people watching it probably feel the same. Yeah. So can you just explain what that means?
Basically, it's just sending a transaction to the blockchain with like the details of the like asset that you're buying. Pretty much, it's just saying like, hey, this now belongs to this guy, like this wallet, pretty much, and I guess that grants you ownership because it's on the blockchain.
Okay, so by doing that, you're basically, that would be the process of securing that whatever you're buying is yours.
Yeah.
And that's printed on the blockchain for nobody can change it. Yeah. Basically, immutable. Okay. All right, cool. So the person, like just now walking through the steps. So the person, say, would there be a place where they can see these the NFTs?
I have that part built out already on the landing page of my website. There's a section where you can quote unquote buy them. You can't really buy them unless you actually use the traditional methods of minting NFTs. And then there's another section there that shows all the ones you own with like links to the image. Okay. And just because of technicalities, I'm still trying to figure out how to show the actual image on the website.
Okay, yeah. So tell me a little bit about that. Like, so where are these? So first question is, for someone to want to sell an NFT, on your platform, do they have to come onto your platform and like create an account, or how does that whole thing work?
I mean, what I imagine is they have their website and everything, and I would just, I guess, consult with them like once there's an actual project built. So like if they want to make it, like if they want to add this feature to their like pre-existing NFT project, just so that like it's more marketable to like the average person, then they could use this service. I guess it's sort of like a software as a service type thing.
It's like it's almost like if you have a product and you want to sell it, you use various channels to sell through, but you also need the actual like infrastructure set up for people to be able to purchase these products. So like you might have stuff on Amazon, you might have stuff on Etsy, just stepping back from the Web3 space, just to like give people a context. And tell me if this is good, if this is right or not. So I can put stuff up on Etsy, up on Amazon, and I can even have my own store on with Shopify on my website. Is that kind of, and so like people might have it across different channels, and you're more help being like a channel or a way to sell, or both?
I think more just a way to sell, because
Gotcha.
ideally there's no like, I mean, I'd have like a website and everything for like the actual sellers to like, like, you know, connect with me or whatever.
Okay,
But
gotcha.
it's mostly just like a back end service.
I got you. Okay,
And
that makes sense.
yeah. And like the going back to the point of like, you know, them having to have a collection, everything already made. I like it would be, I think it would be cool to have like to be able to make them for the, or like have it all work out for them, like do the blockchain contracts and everything, like get all the images set up on a server. But there are already some services that people are building that do that. So I wouldn't want to try to go forwards with an idea that's already being executed by someone else.
Or I think you probably said this in the beginning and I just wasn't kind of connecting it, but you're saying how it's like, it's more of a software as a service. So essentially, It sounds like you could build this and sell it to Coinbase or OpenSea.
Yeah.
Or some, right? And is that right? Like something that they would use. So you're not necessarily like, I mean, in the beginning, you would be the go-to to help people sell their projects, but eventually it'd be something you might want to incorporate onto a platform where the people are hosting and selling. And then you just have you're adding value by helping people to purchase things without having to. I know I'm repeating what you said, but now it's all connecting. It's making sense to me now.
I think you explained it well right there. Yeah.
Okay. And then, so then it's like, oh, you can go on OpenSea or Coinbase if you know how to do all that, or they could make it so that you can just click a button and say, and you've set up all the back end stuff so that they can buy with a credit card or buy through an email address, to a link or whatever.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool. Sounds pretty awesome. So how were you at with that project?
Right now I don't really have a lot of like the business part figured out. I'm mostly just building it out, like
the tech,
like the development. Yeah.
That's cool.
A lot. I actually have like an earlier version of the website hosted on selfiemonkey.com if you want to check that out. But
okay, cool. We can leave a link below for people to check it out.
It's not functional or anything, at least the service I'm doing, because that's still honestly in its early phases.
Cool.
But you know, the collection is there. You know, the feature where you can see ones that you've bought are there. I'm not sure if you can mint from that website like with traditional means, but someone could try if they wanted to.
So I got a question. How did you get into the web? How did you get into this? Like, do you have a background in coding or development or
so I guess my like whole coding, I guess you'd say, career started last year. I took AP Computer Science A, which is kind of funny. Like most kids just kind of BS their way through that class. I actually paid attention. I got it done relatively quickly. I finished all the units like before, February.
Okay.
Rest of my junior year, I started doing my own projects. They got more and more complex, and I guess this is where I'm at. But this project actually originated, me and my friend just wanted to do an NFT drop, basically. So he had, he made all these pictures of monkeys. Like it's like a picture of a real monkey with just stuff like outfits drawn over it.
Yeah.
Because people are kind of doing that sort of stuff. It's a little more streamlined in the projects that actually work out.
Yeah.
But we were just like talking on the phone one day, and he was like, "Hey, what if you could buy these with a credit card?" And I was like, "That's like pretty genius. Like then we could, say, hey, pull up this website on your phone,
right?
Like pay $20 with your credit card, and you can have one of these NFTs." And I guess I've kind of built this on that, but I'd want to give some credit to him because he came up with the idea.
Nice. That's cool. And how many hours have you, or days, or how much time are we talking about you spent so far, like building this out?
Oh God, too much. I want to say I started it in January, I believe, but I mean, I think I spent like a good couple hundred hours on it. I work on it basically every day, all day.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you're like in it. You're doing it. Yeah. Okay. It's not just like a passion project, side thing when you have extra time.
Yeah. I mean, I guess in a way, but I have extra time all the time. So it's kind of,
gotcha.
And like school isn't too challenging this year. It's my senior year. So
nice. So, what's your plan? Kind of like move looking forward. I mean, you already know where you're going to college, or?
Yeah, I think I'm going to Virginia Tech.
Okay.
I got in a couple of weeks ago. I accepted, paid my enrollment deposit because that's initially where I wanted to go. So.
And they don't even know that you're working on this, or did you talk about this in your
No,
applications?
I mean, I applied before this
Before the idea
formulated. Yeah.
That's kind of exciting. Imagine the resources you can get.
Oh yeah.
Being there.
Except I'm going for like a liberal arts major, so I'm not.
Oh, interesting. Well, I mean, yeah, but once you get there, you probably have access to.
Oh yeah.
People, professors, classes, right? Yeah. That's what's up. Cool. So you said that you had another project that you were working on?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the other project is really just the monkey NFT project, which is honestly a joke. That's the website I mentioned earlier, but it's sort of like a proof of my idea working.
Yeah.
If I can integrate it with that website, I can basically do it with any website because it's a really basic, there's not a lot going on with it. So
gotcha. So do a lot of something that I don't really know about NFTs, like I said earlier, like that NFTs is not my space that much. I have a friend from high school who's really into it, and he's like trading them like crazy, and he understands like a lot of the concepts of adoption of NFTs, the utility, and even like various technology behind it. So I actually became part of this group of people who basically gave him money to invest in it. And so I'm part of this pool. So I'm learning a little bit about it. But something that you're saying that I didn't know is this whole concept of like your stuff lives somewhere. And so someone can kind of, can you help us understand the connection between where the NFT is and the marketplace? And does that question make sense?
Sort of, yeah. I mean, so I guess the NFT itself, like the actual token, is stored on the blockchain. It's got a bunch of like data surrounding it, like maybe a URL to like where the image is stored, or if it's an image or whatever. It could be anything, to be honest. But it could have metadata, whatever. And so these marketplaces will, I guess somehow they obtain I think they just crawl the blockchain and like gather all these like tokens that follow a certain standard. And with that, they're able to just call the, URI function on it, and it'll give them the URL to the image, which they can just display on their site. And they know where the asset is stored on the blockchain, so they can interact with it, whatever, as long as the owner is willing to sell through their platform. I'm not sure if that was a great explanation.
So correct me if I'm wrong. I'm gonna take what you said and I'm gonna add my own understanding. So an NFT, when we're speaking specifically in terms of a piece of art, a JPG or an MP4, like a video or visual, like picture file. I guess it could be an audio file as well.
Yeah.
So that audio or video or image file lives on a website.
Yeah, or just like a server.
Or a server. Okay. So it's on a server, and the website, you open a website, and it shows you that file.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then the NFT is a certificate of ownership and authenticity that lives on the blockchain. So by having this certificate of ownership and authenticity, it points to where this thing lives.
Yeah, and says it owns, or it belongs to this person.
Okay, yeah. So it's like ownership, authenticity, and location.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
For the high level, simplified understanding. Okay. So all you who think that an NFT is like a picture who lives on the blockchain, I guess, is that possible? Like, can you have the file?
It is possible. It would cost like tens of thousands of dollars for like one image. I'd assume it costs that much to be stored on the Ethereum blockchain, at least.
Okay.
I think there's some blockchains that actually support like storing it on chain. That's what like a lot of people call like on-chain storage, but we're not like a lot of them aren't really there yet. So you just have to have a pointer to the image somewhere else.
Okay.
But
So
it is possible.
So for all intents and purposes, an NFT is not the picture or video. The NFT is proof that who owns it, and like a list of transactions, maybe like, you know, where, you know, the movement of this ownership and authenticity and destination or location that where this piece is stored.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I think that's good.
That's a good explanation.
All right, cool, man. So let's see. What are you into? So did you make your files yourself? Did you make the artwork that you're using as a proof of concept, proof of product for your software as service for buying? And
I didn't make them myself. My friend's brothers actually did.
They just a graphic designer, or is that?
No, it's kind of. I guess it was just like a little fun thing. They're made in iPhone markup. Like if you go into your camera roll, you press markup. It's really like crap. I mean, they're not crappy. They're like they put time into them, but it's like, you know, basically just drew them.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Drew them on a phone.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And then, okay, that's cool.
I guess that also sort of proves the idea that like you don't need a ton of resources to like make these things. I mean,
totally.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, you look at like CryptoPunks or whatever. I mean, the pixelated images, or that kid in India who made the elephants and or whatever it was. Like these things are selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And, you know, talk about a ridiculous piece of artwork. Like, you know, it's just why is that valuable? Who knows? But it doesn't have to be like some incredible piece of, you know, art necessarily. I feel like it's more about the community and like the hype and like who's around. And, you know, what do you know about NFT? And I'm just gonna pick your brain a little bit about NFTs if you're up to it. So can you talk about utility of NFTs? That's the part that I keep hearing, like roadmaps and utility. I don't know if you are into that, any of that kind of stuff.
What would you mean by utility?
Exactly. Okay, cool. So we're on the same page. Like apparently there's utility and there's roadmaps. Like I don't know how an NFT collection has a roadmap. Like apparently.
Oh, like of how it's going to progress through.
Yes.
I've seen that on a couple of the sites, because I mean, I built the site mostly by example, but I guess the roadmap idea is like once we have this amount of money, we'll do like new drops and stuff. Is that your understanding of it? I don't know. I would hope that, just because, so I'm a crypto person. I can read and understand tokenomics, supply and demand, inflation rates of tokens, and you know, I study finance and I like economics, but I don't understand it for NFT collections, because it doesn't, those same things, I can't bring all those things together. But just in defense of my friend who's really into it, he's talked about how like an NFT collection could buy a sports team, and it could, or they could open up like a clothing line, and it could be like the Bored Ape Yacht Club clothing line, and they all have a different Bored Ape Yacht Club Bored Ape on them, and you know, the different, I don't know, like I can understand utility as a means of like a marketing channel, like saying I have this community, we have all this hype, everybody in the world saying that unless you're living on a rock probably knows what Bored Ape Yacht Club is. I mean, maybe that's not true, and if it's not true for you, sorry, but Bored Ape Yacht Club is the most popular NFT collection, and you know, Jimmy Fallon and Eminem and Snoop Dogg and all these people have a Bored Ape, and it's a collection, I think, of 10,000 apes, and each one looks different. And Justin Bieber paid $1 million for his Bored Ape. So you have it's kind of like an elite membership status thing to own a Bored Ape. Another utility of NFTs that I've seen. So I got into Axie Infinity. Do you know Axie Infinity? I saw the name on some like blockchain crawler one day when I was just like looking into some other stuff. I have no idea what it is.
So Axie Infinity was one of these blockchain play to earn games. So you play, it's kind of like Pokemon, where you have characters. You need 3 characters. Each character is unique, has its own set of cards, and each card has its movements. And so you battle other teams and you fight. And if you win in-game tokens. And then you can cash those tokens out for fiat currency or cash. Oh. So you can play to earn. So you can play a game and make money playing the game. So they had it all set up to where you could play and you could earn tokens just for playing against a computer. But they got rid of that because it was causing so much inflation that the price of the in-game token collapsed.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So now you can only earn money if you battle other people on the internet, and the winner gets a prize. And if you lose too many battles, your ranking goes down. And if you don't maintain a certain size ranking, even when you're down here and you win, you don't earn. You just earn. You can raise your ranking. So you have to be good. So like I understand the utility of these NFTs because they're the characters and that you have to have a character. You can't play the game unless you buy the NFT character. And the NFT character is, their cheap ones are $100, which you're probably not going to win anything. But like my buddy cashed out his 401k and he runs an entire like army of people and like spread around the world, but mostly in the Philippines that he gives them NFTs through some sort of like, someone created a platform where you could
like the whole loaning idea.
Yes, yeah. So you can loan it to them, but he gets the in-game tokens, and then he delivers them to his fighters. And so he's like a fight promoter or like someone who's like a manager, like a fighter is a manager. Yeah. It's an entire economy that is kind of sprung up. I feel like the whole space still has a lot of room to grow, and people are still figuring it out, and they're going to need infrastructure in order for this utility to come alive, and they're definitely going to need some way to expand their consumer base, and which is I guess where your product would come in, your service would come in. It's like helping these projects really reach a wider audience, so you don't have to like sign up for an account somewhere, exchange your fiat currency for that, and then transfer it to wherever you got to transfer it to the marketplace,
like
or
browser wallets.
Right. Yeah.
Terrible. I mean, I actually I'm not going to blame it on the browser wallets. It's my own stupidity, but I got like $20 worth of Ethereum just stolen from me. I accidentally uploaded my like project to GitHub, like a public repository. Like anyone can see it, whatever. Within seconds, my wallet was empty, like completely drained. Like as soon as I uploaded it.
How does that happen?
Because I put my private keys in like one of my files, and then uploaded it like just like that, like with the at the drop of a hat.
So you uploaded a file that onto GitHub that had your private keys.
Yeah,
found them and drained your account.
Yeah, except they have these bots that just crawl it, and they're like super quick. If you upload it, you're done. Like you're not.
Gotcha.
You can't just take it down and hope it works like that.
So for all those people watching, would you say that it's pretty safe to say that you shouldn't keep your private keys in, maybe not even on your computer?
Maybe? Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, I keep them in my notes app, but that's probably a terrible idea. I just don't own a lot of crypto, so it's not a huge.
And after this show, you're going to now take them off of that app. So that
most likely.
Yeah, exactly. Now that you gave everyone a location to look for them. Yeah,
very good point.
Yeah, but anyway, your concepts sounds pretty cool, man. I look forward to hearing about the growth. How much time do you think you got? Like, what's your roadmap?
I don't really have one. I'm kind of just taking it day by day. Right now, I'm trying to integrate because I sort of have like the back end working. You can take like when Stripe like gets a transaction, it'll basically send a request to like my webhook. And I'm trying to basically just have the whole back end like be actually compatible with some of my pages on the front end that'll handle the like, distribution of the NFTs. Because I have like pages built out for all of that. They're just completely, useless because they're not connected to the back end.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So how much time do you think it'll take until you kind of feel like you're up and ready for people to start using your stuff before the end of the school year?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, I look forward to forward to catching up with you and hearing about your progress once you kind of get a little further along and see like what kind of application. Maybe we can even do like a demo or something.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool. Cool, man. All right. Well, anything else that you love about like Web3 or that you think is like really cool or important, or anything to know for anybody, like, or some advice, for people that want to learn or be a part of or get into it or anything like that?
I mean, with me, I started off like, with interest in like being a developer, I guess. And that's like, that kind of took me into Web3 because like, how could you resist? Just so much fun stuff, so many like intricacies. So there's that, but like, I don't know, getting into it with from a, like, I guess a computer science standpoint is not difficult at all. Like you could do a ton of research and like understand everything, but like gaining, like knowing how to use like these libraries and stuff that make it easy to, I guess manipulate, like read the blockchain and all that. It's not too hard to take advantage of those.
And if someone was like wasn't in maybe had an interest and like a fellow tech person that's interested, what would your recommendations be for like getting into it? You got any tips or anything you've learned along the way?
Just make an NFT minting website. I made one. I mean, the initial one I made, I cranked out in like 2 or 3 weeks. It's not a super difficult task. I'm expanding on that now, but like a site where you can link a browser wallet to it and mint an NFT there is not a difficult task.
So is that a good place to start?
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah. Do you own any NFTs?
Well, yeah, I own mine.
Yeah. And are you gonna sell them or list them for sale?
That's ideal.
Kind of the goal, yeah.
Except it's kind of like a high startup cost to get the the minting contract actually deployed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's somewhere around like $1,000 just to like deploy it so I could sell 50 of these.
Oh, interesting.
So like I just
okay, that's good to know. Mm-hmm. So anybody getting into it, that's something important. Like, hey, just make sure you got any special equipment or anything like that, or access, like any other costs?
I don't think so. No, I mean, you gotta have a computer, obviously. But yeah, I don't know. I think our initial like drop, these little monkeys that we've made are kind of just like a fundraiser because we get like, we're trying to sell them for $500 each. We'd have to like, people see that as like an investment, not so much as like a piece of art because they're kind of crappy pieces of art.
Yeah.
But like we get, $5,000 because there are 50 of them, sell them for $100 each. That opens so many doors, like so many, like, services that we could use that just cost money.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Like what?
Like there's certain like APIs that help you like, I guess, read like blockchain info, like get analytics and stuff like that. And they're not free because they require like a lot of computing power. I guess maintaining servers, like we're using Amazon Web Services to host all of our stuff. And like that gets pricey once you have users.
Gotcha. So like what kind of monthly costs are we talking about? Like right now, do you have any?
Right now it's like 10 to 15 a month.
Okay.
But that's manageable. I have like a job, so I can cover that. But
okay, you
start getting traffic and it ramps up a lot.
So we got monthly host, like hosting services, like server. Could you need access to the servers, I guess? Right? Yeah. So you got that monthly cost, plus you got at least like $1,000 for the smart contract deployment. Okay. Cool. So that sounds like. Any other costs?
Not that I could like pinpoint off the top of my head. Okay. I mean, maybe like hiring some other people to help me out with the development, but like, we're not there yet.
Yeah. So. Well, so that just goes to show, like, you can't just like out of nowhere make this stuff happen and make a bunch of money off of something. It sounds like there's quite a bit of work. There are some startup costs. There's some planning and some education. You're gonna need to know how to work this space.
I said it's easy to like make the actual like site to do these things, but like the education part is not
Right.
It's not too quick.
Yeah. So if you're kind of into computer science, it might be easy, but that doesn't mean there's not these other startup costs. Yeah. Cool, man. How's that feel? Is that better?
Yeah, I think that's. Yeah, I like it. I like how the back is more like streamlined, I guess.
I'm going to show you the back.
All right.
Hold that. I'm going to spin it around.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I like it.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate you and coming on and coming here and telling us about your project. All right. Well, and everybody watching, thank you for attending and watching. Please like and subscribe. If you're listening on podcast, please give me 5 stars and follow. And if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe and click the bell. It helps support the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. And until next time, I'll see you. Hodl on. And thanks again, Theo.